Asshat Arcade.
How you doing? Welcome to the Asshat Arcade. This is Frizzle Fried. This is my Garagecade. Wanted to put together a state of the arcade video for Thanksgiving 2014. Actually, the day after Thanksgiving 2014. Basically, this is a rundown of my current lineup. Maybe a little information about each of the games and whatnot. Why don't we start here to the right? We've got Frontline. I picked up Frontline in San Diego. It's actually got a repro bezel as well as a repro marquee. Excuse me, repro CPO. Marquee is actually an original in fantastic shape. Overall, the game's in decent shape. It's got the typical frame at the bottom. Other than that, the game plays great. Monitor looks fantastic. It's a fun game. To the right of that is my Crazy Climber. Crazy Climber is also in pretty darn good shape, original shape. I have not really done anything to it other than just clean it up. It's got an original Geo 7 monitor in it. The monitor could stand a recap. Frankly, it takes a bit of time to heat up, and it doesn't get too bright. But I already have a cap kit for it. Control panel overlay, or control panel is not really an overlay. It's painted on or silked on. It's in pretty darn good shape for the game. The game usually is pretty beat up. The control panel overlay is, or control panel is, I should say. Marquee's in great shape. One of my favorite games. Also, unfortunately, has the Tato fray at the bottom. To the right of that is my my Tron. I did restore this from a really sad state. It's now in pretty primo shape. Plays fantastic, looks fantastic. Not a whole lot more can be said about it. You have to see it to see how nice it is. It's your typical, fully restored Tron. To the right of that is my Star Wars. The Star Wars also has an Empire Strikes Back kit in it. Basically, it's the the Vector Labs kit. This Star Wars actually was stripped down bare, and this is all reproduction artwork. Unfortunately, the reproduction marquee from Arcade Shop with its cracking already. The control panel overlay for the yoke is reproduction. I do think this is actually original control panel overlay. The front's all reproduction, sides are reproduction. Game is in fantastic shape. I will never be letting loose of Star Wars again. One of my favorite games. To the right of that, I have Omega Race. Omega Race is in also fantastic shape, original shape. I have not done anything other than clean up the machine as far as the cosmetics are concerned. I did have a big problem with the board where I had a capacitor explode and take out a bunch of parts, and well, one thing led to another, and I sent it out to get repaired, and here it is, running great. Very fun game. I do enjoy it. To the right of that is a unique game. Yeah, it says Gravatar, but you see Black Widow on there on screen, and that's because, as you can see from the control panel, custom control panel overlay, it is a Black Widow Gravatar Lunar Battle multi-game, a Vector Labs product. Plays all 3 games on the cabinet, and I created that control panel overlay that sort of incorporates both Black Widow and Gravatar, and the game is one of my favorites. To the right of that, Terminator 2. It's my second Terminator 2. First one I got rid of and sort of missed it, so I picked up another. With Terminator 2, I usually have one, and I do have one gun that is, it's got the kickback, the feedback, and the other one does not, just in case you want to play silently. And it's in nice shape. I did when I bought it. It was the boards were shot. I picked up some boards and set it up and got it going, and it's running great. To the right of that, the right of Terminator, is Combat. My Combat, XD Combat, is here waiting for a Doyle multi-kit. I am on the Doyle multi-kit list. Number 1. That's right, I am going to be XD kit number 1 this time around when it comes out. Can't wait for it to come out, because I'm going to drop it in Combat, because quite frankly, Combat kicks my ass. To the right of that, I have a Battlezone. Battlezone has been my nemesis for years. I picked it up and overpaid for it a long time ago, put a lot of money into it and a lot of time, and it would work and then not work and then work and then not work and then work and then not work. I finally sent it out, had somebody look at it, work on it. It came back and it has been stable since. I really do enjoy the game, and I'm glad I have it in my collection, and I don't think I could ever sell it simply because I could never make what I have put into it. To the right of that is my MAME cabinet. My MAME cabinet's a general MAME cabinet. 6 buttons plus 1 for playing NeoGeo games. You know, it's your typical MAME cabinet. To the right of that, Baby Pack. Baby PacMan's in pretty darn good shape for its age. It is missing a few lamps that I need to work on. It's not the lamp itself, not the bulb, but something going on at the board or at the wiring. I'll figure it out. But some people like the game, some people hate the game. I personally really enjoy it. It's one of my favorite PacMan. Game plays perfectly right now, though. To the right of that, I have MultiPack. MultiPack has a Doyle 96-in-1 kit that I have on easy mode or simple mode, which I believe has 16 games that you can choose from, and it's in an original PacMan cabinet. Marquee. The marquee obviously is a MultiPack marquee. Reproduction control panel overlay, original bezel, and the cabinet is all original, new T-molding. Overall in decent shape. To the right, I have Donkey Kong. This is basically, let's see, it was my 3rd video game that I owned, and I really didn't know what I was doing. And I, unfortunately, I jammatized a Donkey Kong Jr. cabinet. I put in an arcade shop multi-game board, and I basically set it to run excuse me, the 4 Donkey Kong games, including Donkey Kong 2, that hack, as well as Mario Brothers, and called it Multi-Donkey Kong. It's still one of my one of my favorite cabinets. I play the game a lot. I love Donkey Kong 2. It's one of my favorite games. So, hey, you know, I'm not going to sell it anytime soon, but yeah, I unfortunately did the evil deed and jammatized a Donkey Kong cabinet. I learned my lesson and will never do that again. Alright, to the right of that is my vertical MAME cabinet, which is actually, it was a Dig Dug. This was a Dig Dug originally. Now, don't get pissed. I didn't jammatize it. By the time I got it, it had already been 20 different things, and it was a Rally X by the time I got it. That was gutted essentially, and I MAMEd it. I made it a vertical MAME, but not only is it a vertical MAME, but it also serves up my Naomi games from my Naomi cabinet, and it's also a MP3 jukebox with quite a number of albums on it that play through the speakers up here, the Yamaha speakers up top. I do have an Arachnid Super 6 Dart machine here. And out to the right, we've got my Williams multi-game. The Williams multi-game came, or is in a Stargate cabinet. Originally, when I got it, it was a, what was it? An Attacks. Yeah, it had already been an Attacks. Not only that wasn't an Attacks, it had been at least 2 or 3 other games by the number of holes in the control panel. I basically gutted it, restored it, and it is now running a J-Rock multi-game board. Not only that, but I also have a 2-in-1 JAMA harness going in there, a 2-in-1 JAMA board, and I run the J-Rock Berserk board in here as well. So he's got the the Williams, and then I flick the switch, and there we go. Got the multi-Berserk. To the right of that is my Naomi cabinet. My Naomi cabinet is a Z-Bat cabinet. Let me go around to this side here. You can see it's got the trash can over there, but it is a Z-Bat cabinet. It's got Naomi, a Sega Naomi motherboard running in it. I have it net booting over to the vertical main cabinet over there. I can serve it any number of Naomi games, as well as a bunch of Atomus Wave games now are compatible with Naomi. Let's see, across from that, I've got a couple of Rush the Rocks. I did notice that this afternoon that one of my marquees was out. They're both in very good shape overall for their age. All original. I didn't restore anything really. One is a original San Francisco Rush that's been converted to a Rush the Rock. The other is a Rush the Rock Alcatraz, or the first one's just San Francisco Rush the Rock. This one's a Rush the Rock Alcatraz edition. They both have been, both are set up to run Rush the Rock Alcatraz edition. They are 2 of my favorite drivers. Rush 2049. Rush 2049 is an updated version of Rush the Rock. Essentially, it's a futuristic driving game. The sounds are fantastic. The game itself, it's very fun. It'd be funner if I had 2, but with 1, it's a good time. There's a lot of different, like you got to collect coins and a bunch of other things, find shortcuts and whatnot. It's a fun game. To the right of that, I have Outrun 2. Outrun 2 is unique in that it's the only machine I've got running that actually has an LCD screen in it. When I picked up Outrun 2, the original 27-inch monitor was dead. Absolutely dead. It only ran the red gun. The other 2 guns were completely shot. I had a couple of choices. Either A, pick up a 27-inch VGA monitor to drop into it, which would cost a bucket load, or B, drop in a 32-inch Insignia widescreen TV, run it in 4:3 mode, and call it a day. Basically, what you're looking at is a 26-inch, so I lose about an inch, a 26-inch screen. I built the bezel around it, and it stays in 4:3 mode. It powers on when the game comes up, and plugs right directly into there's a VGA port, and it works perfect. I cannot complain. For somebody who's really against having LCDs in arcade games, I figure, anything VGA up, why not? I certainly would not consider putting an LCD screen in an EGA, or especially an old standard CGA type game. It just doesn't look right. To the right of that is my only pinball machine, Lethal Weapon 3. I've got some LEDs on the way. I've been toying with a couple LEDs, as you can see at the bottom here. But overall, for a B title, this is an absolutely fun game. I really am enjoying the game a lot. It is in pretty damn good shape overall. I traded my High Speed for it, which was also a very fun game in a title, but it was an older game. This one, being a DMD, actually has modes and other various goals to accomplish. and just more to do. So, and when you're only going to have 1 or 2 pinball machines in a collection, you really got to have something that's, you know, that you can do different things in. The high speed just got old really fast for me. So anyway, like I said, I've got some LEDs coming to set it up with LED. I also have a rubber kit, so I have some drop targets, as well as drop target labels for it, and a few other little toys to drop in there. And overall, I'm very happy with this pin, especially for what I got it for the trade. I did add those 2 lights at the top. I picked them up on Amazon.com, dropped in some, I believe they're 89 bulbs, number 89 bulbs, and wired it directly in, and they work fantastic. Alright, to the right of that, we have my Multipede. Multipede is actually my arcade shop, my arcade SD board running in here. This is a custom control panel overlay I put together myself. It is running a Wicco stick and the original control, well, actually a repro trackball and leaf switch buttons, and it is running the arcade SD board, so it has been jammatized. When I picked this machine up, I cannot even remember what it was. It was some piece of crap. But I restored it, put some side art on it, cleaned it up, and overall it's in very nice looking shape. To the right of that is a project. It is a 60-in-1 I'm putting together for my sister. It was when I picked it up, it was a 2 crude. It was, as you can see by the buttonholes there, it was jacked up and just, you know, hacked to hell. And I'm just going to put this together for her and send it over. The monitor does need some adjusting. I have a control panel overlay coming. I have a marquee coming, multicade marquee. I'm going to paint the sides black, put some yellow T-molding on it, and send it over to my niece and nephew. To the right of that, I have a Mario Brothers wide body. Mario Brothers wide body is running the original Mario Brothers with a Braze kit, a high score save kit, and it is a very fun game. I did not realize just how awesome Mario Brothers was until I played the original Mario Brothers on until I played the actual machine. Playing it on MAME, it's just not the same. Playing even the vertical version on the arcade SD or the arcade shop board, it's just not the same. I like the original game and the original controllers, and yeah, it's gonna stay in my collection for a while. To the right of that, I have my son's favorite cabinet, Golden Tee Complete and Silver Strike Bowling 2007. I have the Incredible Technologies Perfect Solution Kit up front here. I can switch between the 2 games. There's Silver Strike Bowling there. It's just a switcher in there is basically what it is. And my 5-year-old absolutely loves bowling and plays golf all the time. To the right of that is my newest acquisition. I picked it up here a couple weeks ago, for 120 bucks I think is what I paid for it. It's 125, that's what I paid. Soul Calibur 2. Soul Calibur 2 is actually in pretty damn good shape overall, especially considering what I paid for it. And on top of that, what I did is I dropped in a 2-in-1 JAMA switcher. JAMA switcher, and when I switch the key, I've got my Sega STV cabinet running, or STV motherboard running in there, where I'm going to put the Dark Soft multi cartridge here pretty soon when I get it get it in the mail here in the next week or 2, hopefully. So anyway, it's my Stealth STV multi. Now, see around the corner here is my Centipede Mini. This Centipede Mini is actually in pretty good shape, pretty darn good shape, especially considering how the condition it was in when I picked it up. I did add a marquee lamp to it, the control panel overlay. I put new trackball on it, new button, rebuilt the monitor. The machine's actually in pretty nice shape overall. I didn't even go so far as to say very nice shape. I also added a braze multi-kit to it, so it's actually running a millipede board with a braze multi-kit. I do have the original Centipede PC board as well. And to the right of that is my Seabird DS160, I think it was. It's a disco jukebox is what it is. No, it's not the 160, DS2 or something. Disco jukebox. It's filled with some of my favorite bands. I don't know if you'll be able to see these at all on video, but it's a pretty nice juke. I do have some issues with the amplifier. After a while it starts making noise. I have a cap kit, but there's so many caps, it's going to take me a long time to recap that damn amp, so I'm not really looking forward to doing it, but I got to get it done eventually. Only 2 more to go. To the right of that, well, around the corner from that, is my Racedrivin compact model. It's in pretty nice shape overall. The game is one of my favorite games. I've dumped so much money into Racedrivin. It was a cockpit at the Montclair Plaza in California growing up. When I worked at B. Dalton Bookseller, you wouldn't believe how much money I dumped into both hard driving and Racedrivin. This is one of the machines that probably won't be leaving my collection anytime soon. And then finally, to the right of that is my showcase cabinet. My showcase cabinet is set up as a multi-shooter. I actually have 4 games currently running in there right now. I've got 2 Atomus Wave motherboards. I've got a Area 51 Maximum Force motherboard and an Area 51 Site 4. Let me see if you can come up over here. I've got my guitar over here, so let me get this out of the way. I'll give you a real quick look at the inside of this bad boy here. As you can see, 2 Atomus Waves and 2 motherboards stacked back there. Now I do have more room down below where I can add a few more motherboards if I wanted to. And this is a Clay Cowgill JAMA multi-kit, so I can add up to 8 different motherboards to this cabinet. Basically, currently the way I have it set up is the 2 Area 51s use the standard guns, the pistols, whereas the 2 Atomus Wave machines use the shotguns. Currently I have, in the Atomus Wave machines, I have Ranger Mission and Extreme Hunting, but I also have a sharpshooting game here as well that I do drop in from time to time. To switch, all I do is I have a key down here. I need to get a new coin door. It's got a hole right here, but this switch right here, coin switch, or this switch, momentary switch, turn it, changes games. There you go. So, that's the Asshat Arcade as of Thanksgiving, well, the day after, 2014. Hope you stuck around. Hope I didn't bore the hell out of you. Hope you enjoyed the tour. If you're ever in Idaho and you'd like to come by and play some games, visit for a while, by all means hit me up. Send me a PM on KLOV or KLOV, however way you want to say it. Thank you for watching, and again, I do hope you enjoyed. Bye.